Hello everyone, good morning to all. So in today's session of Thoughtful Leaders, we have with us Dr. Adya Sharma, Director of Symbiosis Center of Management Studies, Pune. Welcome on our College Dunia platform, ma'am. Thank you for
Thank you
sharing
so much, Manish.
thank you for sharing the availability for the interview session. Ma'am, with your permission, can we start with the questions?
Yes, please.
So my first question is, being the director of Symbiosis Center of Management Studies, Pune, kindly tell us about your experience in the education industry and what makes it the best industry to work in.
I can go on and on about this, Manish, but let me most probably give you a little background about myself in one line. So I worked in the corporate sector for almost 10 years, and then I joined the academic world, and I've now been part of the academic world for more than 17 years. God, that makes me sound so old. Yeah, so I've been part of it now for almost 17 years, and it's been such a gratifying journey. And I hope and pray that I continue to be part of this industry for many more years to come. Talking about this industry, Manish, I mean, as people say, children are the future, and we see that future taking shape every day, every month, every year. We see the future of our country, which also puts a huge responsibility on the education sector, because if we do not do our job well, if we do not perform our duties well, then we are messing around with the future of the country. Also, it's not just about academics when I'm talking about the education sector. I think when a student comes to the institute, he learns so much. This is one of the places where he learns about life. This is also one of the places where he develops his attitudes and his perceptions about various facets of life. And in a way, so we are grooming him to take care of the future and the present. And of course, there is so much of learning. So when I joined, my students were a few years younger to me. Today, the students are the age of my children, and I have learned so much from every generation. The interaction between different generations provides you such a fertile ground to be contemporary, to learn, to interact, to discuss. This is such a dynamic industry. Our students in our institute, when they join, they are 17, 18 years old. And when they graduate after 3 years and they walk out as those confident future leaders, it's such a moment of pride for us. It's also, sometimes those little moments also, Manish, make it so sentimental for us. So when an alumni comes back or reaches out to us and says, and appreciates the institute or appreciates the faculty and believes that we have contributed to his life in a positive manner, you are so humbled and you feel so good, because you just feel that, yes, maybe we made that little difference. And on a lighter note, Manish, even if you want, you can't grow old in the education sector, because you're surrounded by so much of positivity, so much of energy, so much of color, that you never grow old. You're always young. So this is one of the best sectors to work, and I love being a part of this sector.
Okay, ma'am. So moving on to the next question, ma'am. Any significant challenges that you have faced being the director of the college?
I won't call them challenges, but I'll put it most probably a little differently. It's a duty of every institute, anyone who's part of the education sector, to ensure that what we offer to the students is contemporary, practical, and relevant. And in this dynamic world, that in itself is a challenge. That's not easy. So maybe let me explain this with an example. Everyone is talking about MOOCs now, massive open online courses. However, we introduced them as part of our curriculum way back in 2015. So since 2015, a graduate from SCMS does not just have a BBA degree, but he or she is also Google certified, or maybe has a HubSpot certificate, or maybe has done some certificate from some Ivy League university. So similarly, let me give you another example, COIL, Collaborative Online International Learning. So there are semester exchange where students go abroad, and there are students who come in to our campus and so on, and SCMS is very, very active in it. However, the question which always kept troubling us was that how many students can go abroad? I mean, there's only a limited number. There are a lot of factors which do not really allow you to travel abroad. Can there be a way in which we can still help the students study or interact with the students from other culture and countries without traveling? And that's where we had collaborative online international learning, or virtual exchange, which we introduced in 2019. We have done virtual exchange now and in this virtual exchange, it's not just one faculty teaching, it's not me teaching another cohort of students or a foreign faculty teaching our students, no. It's students from 2 different countries, 2 different cultures, 2 different time zones, working together on live projects, and they are evaluated. So we've done COIL with institute in US, our current COIL are going with institutes in Brazil. And I mean, post-COVID, or most probably even during COVID, today this is a way of life. Today, when you're working in the corporate world, you're working in teams with people located in different parts of the world. You need to understand their culture, respect their culture. And we are teaching it when we are doing COIL in our institute. So as I said, I mean, I won't call them challenges, but I'll call them as being able to offer to your students something which is contemporary, relevant, and practical.
Okay. Ma'am, moving on to the next question. How do you tend to establish a relation with the students being a director? How do you make yourself available to them?
Lot of ways, Manish. So the first thing, as a director, I may or may not teach, but I teach every semester at least one course. And I do it for 2 reasons. Number 1, I love teaching. I love being in the class. And number 2, it helps me stay connected with my students. Then a student can reach out to me anytime through emails, SMS, or just walking. I mean, it's an open door policy. We have something called open house in every semester, where it's just me and the students, and we talk. We discuss anything and everything. And then we have a very, very active student council, and it's an elected student council. So when I say elected student council, it's not chosen by us. The students vote, and there's a proper voting like it happens when elections take place, and students decide whom they want to see their leaders as. And that student council, again, is a very, very active body through which we are interacting with students all the time.
Okay. Tell us about your effort behind establishing such a successful college, and how do you plan to take it to a greater heights?
Okay. When we talk about the efforts, I think the entire credit should go to the management of Symbiosis. So SCMS was established in 2004, and Symbiosis is established on the motto Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, and that's our guiding principle, which is the world is one family. We have an excellent team, a team of faculty, staff, and our involvement with all our stakeholders, be it our parents, be it the students, be it the corporate world, be it the NGOs. I think it's together that we it's efforts of everyone which helps in establishing any organization, any institute. Also, when I'm talking specifically about SCMS, how we look at it is we are not just offering a BBA degree, we are trying to teach students how to take decisions. And in order to take decisions, we believe that they should have knowledge. And to get knowledge, we provide them exposure to as many platforms as possible. It's not just about subjects. Yes, that platform can be the subjects that you're teaching. The platform can be those extracurricular activities that happen over here. So in a year, our students participate or conduct almost 100 events in a year, and all managed by students. Those platform can be working with the NGO, that platform can be international exchange, that platform can be MOOCs, that platform can be COIL, and so many, because we believe that it's only exposure which will help you give the confidence to take a decision, and the probability of the decision being right increases if the decision is based on knowledge.
Okay. Ma'am, how do you create a student-centric environment in your college?
So as I said, we have a very active student council, and this is an elected student council. We have around 10 clubs, and again, all are managed by the students. We have open house in every semester. We have, and most of everything in SCMS, when I talk about, is managed by students. Students are a very integral part of all the decision making in SCMS. Be it the placement, we have a very active placement cell, be it Simpulse, with one of the biggest festivals, a student festival, which is organized, again, managed by students. So students in SCMS are taught to be the decision makers, and they're taught to be the decision makers by involving them in various responsibilities so that they learn how to evaluate, judge, and take a decision.
Okay. Ma'am, coming on to the next question, how do you integrate value-based education with your curriculum?
Okay, let me explain this with two examples. Number one, Simpulse. Simpulse is one of the largest student festival, and it is a festival for which almost 500 students of SCMS work for more than 6 months. And when you are organizing something of that level, our students learn how to implement what they have learned in class in practice. So in class, we may have taught them ethics. We may have taught them to be ethical. However, when they actually organize something of this, they actually implement it and they understand what ethics means, because there are times when they have to face such difficult decisions. They don't know what to do sometimes, and that's where they understand the value. They understand the value of various things which are taught in the class or by interaction with the faculty. Similarly, our students, they work for 120 hours with an NGO. So every student of SCMS has to work for 120 hours with an NGO. We help them to connect with NGO. The NGO can be your choice. So you want to work with an NGO which looks after senior citizens, or you want to look after an NGO which looks after animals, whatever. But when they work with an NGO, they learn to appreciate the community. They also learn to understand that they need to contribute to the community. Again, while on one hand, so our students have been part of the Guinness record for educating the maximum number of adolescents on menstrual hygiene. So on one hand, we do teach them about the commercial aspects of business, but on the other hand, we also help them become socially responsible citizens. And for this, as I said, we have various activities. I have just named two, Simpulse and our service learning.
Okay, ma'am. Coming on to the most important question, which every student wanted to know, how do you look at the growth? Look at the growth of students through the placement opportunities available at the college, and how do you wish to push the envelope further?
Yes, placement is very important. But I would like to expand the definition of placement. But before that, we have a very, very active placement cell, and it is managed by students and headed by a faculty. SCMS boasts of some fantastic placement in the corporate world. But when I look at the word placement, I don't just want to confine it to the corporate world. I want to look at it at a more bigger definition. And therefore, while some students go for placement, a lot of students go for higher education in India and abroad. And what makes me very, very proud is that here is an institute where we provide ground to the students to even start their own startups. So in the last 1 year, and I'm only talking about the last 1 year when COVID struck the world, the country, the nation, while many of us were troubled, our students, there were at least 4 startups which have started from SCMS. And I'm so happy to tell you that at least 2 of them are being incubated by Symbiosis Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. So when I'm talking about placement, I would like to put it this way, that we give the confidence to our students that when they graduate from here, they will be able to do well, they will be successful in whatever they want to do. You want to join the corporate world? We have a very active placement cell, we will help you. You want to join some institute for higher education in India and abroad? We are known for our quality and our students get into the best of the education institutes. Or you want to have your own startup? We again provide you a ground to do that. We have a very active entrepreneurship cell, plus Symbiosis supports startups. So yes, placement in a more broader definition is extremely important for us, and we are constantly working towards it.
Okay, ma'am, what goals do you have in your mind for the institute for the next few years?
SCMS is known for its quality, and I'll say our goal is very simple: to maintain and enhance that quality at every step. Our goal is to ensure that what we deliver to our students, what we offer to our students is contemporary, relevant, practical. Our goal is to ensure that when our students graduate from SCMS, then they are the decision makers. They are not afraid to take decisions. And for that, we will continue to provide them exposure through a lot of platforms, because we strongly believe that it's knowledge which gives you the confidence.
Okay, so ma'am, moving on to the last question of the day. Being a director of Symbiosis Center of Management Studies Pune, what suggestion would you like to give to the current youth and the aspiring students?
I think rather than me giving suggestion to the youth, maybe we can learn so much from them. But having said that, whatever little experience I have, I would just tell them 2 things. Number 1, there is no shortcut. All of us have this capability and ability to achieve our goals, to achieve our dreams, whatever your goals and dreams are. God has blessed all of us with that ability. However, the secret lies in understanding that it's with hard work. There's a very famous doha which says, Karat karat abhyas ke jarmati hot sajan, which in short means that it's only hard work, it's only practice, it's continuous dedication towards your goal, which will help you realize all your goals and dreams. So that's the first thing I want to tell all the young generation and youth, that don't be scared of hard work. You will achieve your goals. You will achieve all your dreams. And it's a very simple recipe and yet a very difficult recipe, which is hard work. And number two, I again love a very famous Sanskrit shlok, and I'll just say the last line, Vidya Dhanam Sarvam Sarve Dhanam Pradhanam, which means that the wealth, which is the best wealth among all, is education, because this is something that nobody can take away from you. This is something which cannot be divided among brothers. The more you share, the more it grows. The more you learn, the better you become. And this is the only thing which gives you confidence to face anything and everything of life and move on and find solutions. So value knowledge, value yourself, and value the hard work.
That's all for today, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your availability for the interview session. And I must have got many insights about SCMS Pune. And I hope the students who will be viewing this video after when it's published, they get a maximum amount of insights and value addition informations from this video. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Manish.